I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. And here we have the director of episode 3 of The Last of Us, and he says point blank, he wanted to trick the audience into watching a gay love story. Because it was never about telling a story. It was never about actually honoring the bigger overall story. It was about pushing an agenda. And as I said, two things can be true at the same time. Could it have been a really good quality episode? Absolutely, and it was. But it can also exist only to push an agenda, and it was. And that's what the director himself admits, because he goes into this not worrying about telling a good story. He goes into this wanting to put his self-projection into it, and that's exactly what he did. So here we have the article where it says, The Last of Us director Peter Hoare said he wanted to trick his audience into watching a gay love story in an episode of HBO Max's new apocalyptic drama. Hoare, who is gay and is known for his work on the British LGBTQ plus. Sorry to put the plus in there. The LGBT plus, I can't keep up with it anymore, miniseries It's a Sin, said that he wanted the viewers to see that it was the same love as straight people, but just between two guys. Notice that this has nothing to do with actually trying to tell the story that complements the overall story. No, it's about this centrally focused agenda that this director is wanting to put into it, because that's what it was always about. So I was right once again, and I'll continue to take credit for that. Thank you very much. But ultimately, I think the Daily Wire, as we get further into this article, they're being a little disingenuous, and we'll get into that here in a minute. Sometimes you have to sort of trick the rest of the world into watching these things before they're like, oh my God, it was just two guys. I just realized, he told Inverse Magazine ahead of the release of the Zombie series 3rd episode. I think then they might understand that it's all real, he added. It's just the same love. So none of this, again, has anything to do with adapting one of the greatest video games ever and one of the most popular video games ever. No. This is about taking a small piece within that video game and creating an entire episode that doesn't really complement the overall story for an agenda. Now, again, I will say it one more time. It doesn't mean that the episode was bad. Two things can be true. It can be a really good episode, and it can exist to push an agenda. And that's what happened. In the first 2 episodes of the series, adapted from the popular video game, the show focused on fighting zombies. However, the 3rd one veered off course with the self-contained romance between 2 surviving men, Bill and Frank, who hadn't been infected with the virus. Reading through the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, the 3rd episode didn't set too well with many who suggested skipping it, as most of the episode consisted of a romance between the 2 men. I think they're being disingenuous there. I think most people really enjoyed this episode. I think most people really enjoyed this episode. And if you go over to Rotten Tomatoes, you'll see it's still sitting at an insane 93% audience rating. So trying to say that most people didn't enjoy it, I think you probably found some comments that said that. And I've seen some of those comments on my video. But my video, I'm getting crushed. I'm getting crushed for criticizing this episode. Which is totally fine. It's the internet. You put opinions out there, and you take the risk of having a very popular opinion or an unpopular opinion. I think I have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to how I saw everything with this episode. Again, I did say that it was a good episode, and I said it was enjoyable, but I also said it existed for an agenda. So I've definitely hit Reddit or some kind of site that has, I'm getting bombed right now, which again, totally fair. I welcome it. The video has well over 100,000 views. Continue to bomb me all you want. That's what we're here for, to give opinions and to hear opinions. But ultimately, from my perspective, I think most people really did enjoy this episode because, as I said, the episode itself was really good from a filmmaking perspective. I give credit where credit's due, but I can also call things out and I can see things beyond what's right in front of me. And a lot of people that are seeing this self-insert, a lot of people that are into the identity politics, they just think if you criticize this in any way, shape, or form, you're the worst person in the world and you're against all LGBTQSIAC3PO people. That's what they believe. And they're lifelong victims. That's what they're always going to believe. There's nothing I can do to change that. But at the end of the day, the director himself admitted that this was all a trick. It was all a trick to get people to watch a gay love story that is directly from the person that was involved with the creative process of this episode. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.